our bloodstream, and we continue to lean into you guys to take that first step, and an exciting first step here as well. Exciting to be here. Glorious winter day here in Los Angeles. Let us get started with the announcement, and for that, we will welcome in LAFC's lead managing owner, Larry Berg.
Looking good. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Max. Where are you, Max? And thank you all for being here. On behalf of Bennett Rosenthal, who's here with us today, Brandon Beck, Peter Guber, and all of our other partners, it is my privilege to welcome you here as we introduce the next head coach in LAFC history. We believe that Steve is the ideal choice for us at this important time for our organization as we enter our 5th season. It is important for our fans and supporters to know that myself and the entire ownership group always have high expectations for our club. I know that our incredible fans have high standards as well, and we share those and are always working to uphold those standards. We are very confident that we have a talented group of players with the ability to win now. And without giving too much away right now, I am also confident that we are going to add even more exciting talent to that group very soon. Steve has been a part of our organization for over a year now, and that familiarity and understanding of the culture we have built here was an important factor in this decision. He has been intimately involved in the building of the team for 2022, and that continuity has given me comfort as an owner. We believe that Steve has the ability and the experience to harness the talent in our club and not only win games, but more importantly, give our fans and supporters a team that they are proud to support. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry, Bennett, and to the LAFC ownership group, which none of this is possible without. I first caught here that Steve Cherundolo was going to be our new coach. I got a little emotional because I've been in this industry for a very long time, and as I told Steve over a Zoom call earlier this week, and the gathered at 3252 supporters, that there was very few Americans that were in Europe at the time getting into that world to help make this sport bigger and better, and Steve was a trailblazer, and I can only imagine the burden on the shoulders of a young player coming from San Diego to Hanover to broaden horizons for himself, but with so much on his shoulders back home, and I was very proud to see what he was able to do, and to hear that he's now going to be in charge of LAC is a wonderful thrill. We had a chance to talk to some folks regarding Steve, and what was amazing is they all said yes immediately about talking about Steve and why he's a great fit for LAFC. Some of the preeminent voices in the United States and in Germany about why he's a great fit for this club. I recorded it too for your listening and viewing pleasure. So we'll have some monitors here. Here's what some of the preeminent soccer voices in the United States had to say about our new LAFC coach.
I think Steve, first and foremost, is a student of the game. When you look at former teammates and guys that you've played with, guys that you're even in the locker room with as you're playing, you can pick out guys and say, hey, I think that guy's going to go into coaching. He will make a great coach.
I think when Steve told some of us, some of his friends that we've known each other for such a long time, that he was going to get into coaching, it didn't really surprise us.
There are certain players you look at and you go, yeah, he's got that.
You see that they understand the game. They're always studying tape. They're studying the way the game is played. They're listening to coaches. They're asking questions. Steve was that guy.
The first thing you want to do is look at Steve's credentials, right? And you see the kind of player that he was with the national team. And if you talked about anybody who's ever played with Steve Cherundolo in the national team or at the club level, they'll all speak consistently about the same things: what type of person he was, what type of teammate he was, what type of capabilities and abilities he had as a player. And then you could see his leadership skills, which tend to, convert well into being a manager. Consistency was the thing that I always remembered about him. When I was a left fullback, when I came into the national team with him as a right fullback, and he taught me a lot of tricks to the trade, what to do in certain situations, how to get out of pressure, how to be smart about certain situations, how actually when you're having an average day or a poor day to blend in and to just make yourself a role player instead of having to be a star or one of the standout players. Just a lot of these little things that you don't learn and a lot of people don't teach you. Steve Cherundolo taught me.
I always knew that he was a guy that I could go to and ask questions because he made himself very open and approachable, which I think are key traits when you're going to become a professional manager. And you're managing big personalities. You're also trying to bring through young players and make sure that they feel comfortable in an environment where you have superstars. So, I mean, those are traits that stood out to me initially, that now that he is a coach, I'm like, okay, I can see how that's gonna pan out well for him.
That willingness to be outside of his comfort zone and try new things and immerse himself into the situations that he puts himself into are only going to bode well for his success as a manager with LAFC.
I know that this is a guy that's going to put every ounce of effort and everything that he can do into this and pour his heart and soul into the black and gold. And I truly believe he'll be a success.
Steve's one of the more genuine, authentic people you will ever meet. And yet he's also one of the more competitive guys I have ever met. And I think players are going to be a little surprised at how happy they are going to work and wanting to improve and play for LAFC. I think it's an exciting time to be an LAFC fan.
Unsolicited, Steve. It all came flying out. I just teed them up, and they went on. We had a chance to talk to some of his colleagues in Germany, and they had similar things to say, so look out for that as well from our LAFC content team. We're really thrilled to have Steve on board. And for more, another former teammate of Steve, man we all know very well, the co-president and general manager of the Los Angeles Football Club. Let me introduce John Thorrington.
Thank you, Max. It's an exciting day for us all here at LAFC, and a pleasure to welcome you all here for this exciting day to welcome Steve. Today is the conclusion of an incredibly thorough and diligent process undertaken by myself, the board, senior executives here at LAFC. And as we went through this process following the conclusion of our season, we were very transparent about what we felt we needed as a club in order to have success in the years to come. First, LAFC Fit, which involves a number of things. Primarily, our playing style that our supporters and players have come to love and appreciate. Secondly, a man's personal characteristics. And with Steve, having had him here, I've known him for a long time, and having had him here for this year, he certainly ticked every box necessary there. The other things we looked at as a club is a coach who would maximize the ability of our players, and that goes for our young and talented group of players as well as our more senior players. And Steve has shown in his history as a coach, both with us and in Germany, that he is a specialist in developing players. Thirdly, and incredibly importantly, we wanted a coach who our players would love playing for. And when you speak to our supporters, when you speak to staff, we know that when players step on this field here at beautiful Banc of California Stadium, we expect that they give absolutely everything to this club. And I know when you have a coach that you love playing for, that is exactly what you will do. And I am certain that Steve will deliver that for us as a club. For those of you who do not know Steve, and I think great work, staff, by the way, on the video, and thank you, Taylor, Stu, Mo, and Heath, for your thoughts there. For those of you who don't know Steve, I am excited for you to get to know Steve, for you to all see and appreciate what we already do. So, with that, it is my distinct pleasure and honor to welcome Steve back to Southern California, as well as his family, Mandy and his beautiful girls, Liv and Bella. Steve, welcome back to Southern California, and I'd love to introduce the next head coach of LAFC, Steve Cherundolo.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, Larry, John, and everybody at the LAFC family. I am truly honored to be named the next head coach, and today is overwhelming. This video I saw earlier, it's great to see old teammates who still hold me in a very good light and still think of me in those ways. I have tried throughout my career to be authentic, and this is something that I will continue to do. I am a hardworking, passionate guy, but somebody who is also compassionate and has an ear for everybody. And these are things that I believe to be very important in the coaching world, and players will understand what kind of relationships we build, and they will understand that playing for an organization, playing for a club, playing for the fans here at LAFC is something that should not be taken lightly. It is a responsibility, and we have a responsibility to you fans who are unbelievable, make me feel right at home, because it makes me feel like I'm in the middle of a European stadium playing in front of 50,000, 80,000, and I've done throughout my career. We want to make you happy. We want to make you proud, and we will do everything in our power to do that. For me, this has been a long time coming. It's been hard work getting to this stage, and I've taken a long, deliberate path to do that. I wanted to learn the trade of coaching from the ground up. I started out in youth soccer, and I remember the first days, there was nobody else on the staff but me, so putting the jerseys out in the locker room for 14-year-old kids was my introduction to coaching. So I know what it means to put in work, and this is something that we will all be doing here on a daily basis. The coaching license process in Germany is quite extensive, it's thorough, it's challenging, but in the end it's very rewarding. The German Football Federation does an excellent job with that, and I am very pleased to have been part of it and to gone through that and finished my courses in 2020, and instantly knew the tools that I have learned throughout my playing career in Germany, in Europe, but also with the United States national team, coupled with my experiences as a coach, I instantly knew this would be a perfect mix and a unique mix to bring back to the United States. And after being at this organization for about a year now, getting to know everybody and understanding how close-knit this club is and how well it's already run and how much has already been built, so much has already been built, so much good in 4 years, I felt that my tools that I've learned over the years in Europe would be a perfect match for this organization, and this is what we will do moving forward. We will build on already what is great, and we will move forward, but we will continue we will keep our attacking-minded way of playing. We want to score goals. I will make no that is first and foremost our priority. We want to be an attacking, exciting team with moments of explosiveness transition. And for me, it is, like I said earlier, a responsibility for us, because the fans want to see a team they can be proud of, see a team they can see themselves in, players who will do everything on the field on game day for this organization to make you guys happy and to continue our winning ways. We want to win, we want to score, and I am very, very excited to get started tomorrow, unofficially, but we've been working officially for the past couple of days. So I'm extremely excited to get on the field where I belong and to continue to progress our players' paths and to become a team, a unit, one, to fight for LAFC, and we will do that to the best of our ability moving forward, and I am, again, very grateful to be here, so thank you very much.
Steve and John now going to join us here on the stage. So there it is. The season has begun unofficially as we look forward to the LAFC 2.0, as many are calling it. We're going to take some questions here for Steve and John. We'll have some here from our gathered audience. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll try and get as many as in as possible. We do have some folks joining us via Zoom. I'm sure that's an expression you've heard ad nauseum. Via Zoom, that will also we'll field some calls from there. We'll start our questions from here at Banc of California Stadium with Katia Castroena of ESPN Deportes. Good morning, Katia.
Good morning, Max. Thank you. Hi, Steve. Hi, John. Steve, welcome. Great seeing you. Looking at the current roster, what are you the most excited about and looking forward to and being able to apply those tools and those ideas that you have with this team?
Well, we have an exciting mix of experienced players, but players right in the middle of their prime, and some younger, exciting talents. And so finding the right mix on the field on game day to make sure we are moving in our winning ways, that excites me the most. But also progressing players' career as well is something that I know very well and have been doing over the past 8 years. So that mix really excites me, because I think that is what all clubs are striving for, is to have the perfect mix of young or inexperienced and experienced.
John from the LA Times, we'll take your question now. Hello, John. Good morning.
Good morning, Steve. Congratulations. As you were saying, when you were looking from the outside in, what were your thoughts on your challenges that you may face during the process of rebuilding the team as the season approaches? And also, have you had any type of communication yet with Carlos Vela as the leader of the team?
Yeah, I don't think we're in the middle of a rebuild. First and foremost, there will be changes, as there are in every season. And that is something that is natural and normal to this industry, which every player is used to and every person involved in this organization is used to. So there will be not very much change. There's change on the coaching on the sideline, of course, but I am also a face that players have seen over the past year. So there won't be a rebuild or a lot of change. And yes, Carlos and I have had great conversations on the phone, and we'll be meeting in the next couple of days coming up to put him and in a situation where he and we can concede and profit from each other. And I think that is very important. I think he's very excited about this. He's 100% committed, as am I, to get Carlos on the field doing what he does best.
Josh Gross with the LA Daily News. Steve, congratulations. A little bit more on the roster that you have right now in front of you. Where would you say the strengths are, some of the areas where you feel like you can improve? What are your priorities as you build towards the preseason and the kickoff in February?
Well, something we focused on in the offseason, we are continuing to be doing with John and the rest of the staff, is we would like to inject this team with some character and personality. And I think that's something that we definitely want to improve on. That's already there. And what we've seen week in and week out, the ability to score goals and to play exciting football is something we want to continue to do, and we will.
Can I add something to that, Josh, just that I'm not sitting up here in silence? I do think what Steve mentioned is important, and I think that process already began and is underway. We hinted, I do think there will be some more additions. But those that have already come, we've added 2 MLS Cup champions in Ismail Tajuri-Shradi and Escobar. And I think that is what Steve is referencing. I think that is something that I think will really help our group, in addition to some of the others that we will likely announce in the coming weeks.
I like what you said about Franco Escobar when we talked. He's got that little extra oomph that certainly LAFC will be using here in 2022. Any other questions from in here on at the Banc of California Stadium? Okay, we'll open up the questions to the journalists and gathered media on Zoom, and we'll hand it off to Crystal.
Jerry Hawkins, you are live. Stand by, Jerry. We can't hear you.
Steve, I had a question about what you said about the style of play, and I know we had a discussion about the transition play. If you could talk a little bit about how you see that with the club moving ahead.
Well, I think we're all seeing the results of the first 4 years, and we all have...
Oh, one moment.
Yeah.
There we go, Jerry. You're live, Jerry.
Yes.
Okay, now it's perfect. I didn't do anything in my... Steve, congratulations. It's good day. Two-part question. You said it was a long road to get here. and you're always a one-man player, a one-team player. But you've coached now at many clubs back and forth between Germany and the U.S. Can you just say what it's like for you to be in this position right now at this time, reflecting on what you had to go through to get here, and as far as the personal level? Because I remember a conversation 10 years ago you and I and your mother had about how your life would go after your retirement from soccer playing, and where you would live and work. And then as a player with more experience in the Bundesliga than anyone else in America, can you say also a little bit about maybe what Ricardo Kevin is going to be going through in his years now in Augsburg?
Yeah, vielen Dank, Jerry. Right now, what I'm going through is I am a roller coaster of emotions. I'm extremely proud to be the next LAFC head coach. And to make it all more special, being here close to where I grew up in San Diego and back in Southern California. So it really is a true homecoming in many ways. It's been a special year as well leading up to this. And getting to know this fantastic club has just made it all the more special because it truly is a family and everybody involved is in it for the right reasons. And you can feel that on a daily basis. Yeah, playing in the Bundesliga, to answer your second question, can be difficult. It can be draining. It can be very negative. And so I think having personal drive and having goals and setting, short-term goals, mid-term, but also long-term goals is extremely important to keep your head above the water and not to get frustrated. It is mentally extremely grinding week in and week out to play if you are battling relegation or trying to get into European competition or maybe even playing for the championship if you are lucky enough. It is mentally draining, so it's very important to find your happy space away from the field. That would be the tip I would give to any player who wants to play in Germany.
Thank you very much.
Great advice. Thank you, Jerry. We'll go to another one at Zoom, so it's got to find.
Scott, can you turn your video on, please?
I don't know if I can or not.
We can hear you.
Okay,
You're
you can ask.
asking beyond things.
Yeah, you can ask your question, Scott. Just
Okay.
state your.
So, yeah, Scott French from Soccer America. Congratulations, Steve. Can you talk a little bit about your experiences last season with Las Vegas, and in what way you feel you evolved as a coach through those experiences?
Yeah, I think in our eyes, it was a very successful season. We were able to develop players and get them ready for LAFC. I think when you look at fall, Mbaka was we started with us, and he was able to progress into a very important piece to LAFC in the latter stages of the season. So for us, that's how we measured success. It was for a lot of those players a very important step in their career. Playing against men, playing against professionals already, which is a very tricky and slippery slope if you don't do it properly. And so we feel very good about the work we did. We were able to progress many players in that team in their careers, and that will continue to still go on now.
Well, it's also a step forward for you. In what ways do you think you grew?
Every minute you spend on the sideline coaching, and any experience you get, however that may look or turn out, is in my eyes growth. And in coaching in my career already, I've been a part of developmental teams, but I've also been with result-oriented teams, so the professional game. And moving towards that was something that was always in my cards and I always wanted to do. And here I am, and so I know both worlds very well, and will be able to adapt. There is a difference in coaching when you are developing players or when you are striving to string results together and play for fans.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Scott. Happy New Year to everyone, by the way. We didn't say that, so I hope we have a great start to 2022. I know we at LAFC certainly are. And the development question is huge, and it's worth reminding the incredible track record that Steve has of developing young players, not only here, but also in Germany, where he's with part of the German Federation before arriving here back home here in Southern California. At this time, I'd like to welcome the photographers to come in, and we're going to bring Larry Berg back on the stage for a photo opportunity, as is tradition. And we have the jersey to make it official. Excellent. It's official. One more photo? All right. We stamp it. We're going to get Steve's family up here as well to take a photo. Get your cleats on, Steve. All these photos, huh? Exciting. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us here. A beautiful morning into the afternoon now in Los Angeles. Steve and John, I think he's going to partner off with some folks to do some one-on-one interviews. And I bid you guys a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing everyone back out here late February to kick off the season. We've got to let Steve get to work and John get to work, and we look forward to seeing you out here again very soon in 2022. Thanks so much for joining us.